Hello! I'm starting a new vlog that's centered around my Patreon page. I've recorded videos like this several times before and I keep erasing them. This is kind of a struggle. Bear with me for a moment. When you're this passionate and excited about something, things can get kind of hazy. As a creator, I get ideas and excited about things on a regular basis. And in the idea realm and in the creation stage, I'm the only person that knows about it. I'm the only person that thinks about it. That's what happens when you write a song as well. When you have an idea for a song, you're the only person in the whole world that knows how this song goes or knows how you want it to go and has this idea. Taking that from idea to spreading it around and like sharing it with others, it's a very vulnerable place to be. But I do that all the time as a writer, so it's weird having something else and another new thing that I'm doing and be this like nervous. There's definitely something in my teeth. It's been here the whole time, huh? Just pretend you didn't see that. What Patreon is, it's a crowdfunding site essentially, something like Kickstarter or GoFundMe, where those sites raise a ton of money one time for one project. Patreon allows creators to raise money in tiny increments for all of their projects. You pledge as a patron of mine to commit as low as $1 per video I create as a way to fund those creations. There's something a little more special about it to me than just the money. I know that sounds hard to believe, but hear me out on this. I finally get an opportunity to thank you guys in a very personal way for sewing into me. What I mean by that is, whatever you pledge as a patron, there's an incentive attached to that. But they're not just like going to a merch table at a show of mine. They're all things that are themed towards my connection with you. And they're extremely personal. Patreon has its own feed, just like Facebook or Instagram does. So as low as $1 qualifies you and gives you access to just the Patreon content. And what that includes is my cover stories series. It's kind of like a blog post or a personal post of how a song that I cover connects to me in my life. You get to chat exclusively with me. It's our own community, troll free. Like there's no weird people or trolls to be found because all of you are supporters of Charley Woods. If you are a $5 and up supporter, you get access to a live stream. It's a live show and Q&A that will happen every month. There's a couple levels that include me writing a personal letter to patrons in a certain tier every single season. So you'll get 4 letters a year from me, handwritten. Another cool thing about the incentives, if you are pledging a certain amount, you get everything that's included in that tier of incentives and below. So you get all of the rewards in the previous tiers as well. It's just stuff I've really been excited about. It's taken me a while to publish the page. I really wanted to take it seriously. I've done a lot of research in the last few months, researching other people's Patreon projects, their pages, and their community. A couple of my favorites, Wong Food Productions, Hina Granis, Bailey Rushlow. I've spent some time really observing what I like that people are doing and then maybe some other things that I don't really like. So I've really wanted to take my time. Another thing about it is when you create your page, you have to get it approved. It has to be reviewed by Patreon so that they know you're not like scamming people or have wrong motives. That's kind of added a pressure where I've wanted to make sure I'm doing this right. I don't want to just kind of throw things up there and then make you think that I'm just starting to ask for your money. I'm after something much bigger than money. Connection that's created between myself and you is such a big deal to me. It's the match that lights the fire inside of me. When someone comes up to me at the end of a show and they say, that song that you wrote, that is my story. That's something that I've experienced. I've never known how to put it into words. That's just like, that's it. That I could make $0 that whole night at a show and it's still worth it. Just that somebody came up to me and had that experience. Patreon is that like on steroids. It allows me to do that with you guys with everything I create. Now you don't have to come out to a show just to have that connection with me. So that's this vlog series, Countdown to Patreon. When I hit launch, it'll probably be a couple days until it's actually live. So I'll be vlogging until it goes live. A big reason I kind of want to document this is I want to be completely transparent with you. You're helping fund my creations and what I do and all of my projects. So all the stuff that you like to see, whether that's covers, original songs, even albums and tours, all that stuff costs money. Having help with that, it makes it so that I can spend more time doing it rather than spending time trying to earn money another way, having no time to write songs or record. There's big plans that I have for it, and that's another section of my Patreon homepage that you'll get to see. Off to the left side, is this left? I can't tell if it's opposite. It's backwards, isn't it? So on the left side, when you go onto my Patreon homepage, you'll see on the left side of the screen my goals. On the right side is the tiers, on the left side are my goals. And you'll see a couple of those are pretty big, and there are things like new merchandise, an album, equipment upgrades, stuff like that. There's even a nationwide tour that's in there too. But that takes people. It takes a village, right? And I know that a lot of you have mentioned wanting to be on board with something like this before. So this is actually coming to fruition, and it's been a lot of hard work. It's been my baby for a good while. So I'm just putting the finishing touches on it. I'm not sitting up straight, and it's bugging me. I'm kind of slouching. I think it's also going to be a cool thing to look back once we accomplish all of those goals together, and you know, maybe we'll be on a nationwide tour and I'll get to look back at the start of the Patreon project and see that all because of that community that was created, I'm getting to sing to you guys in person. So yeah, really big stuff. If you have any questions about it throughout any of the vlogs, feel free to comment below and I'll get to as many as I can. And yeah, here we go. Launch the Patreon. I'm so dorky. I wonder if people can hear me. Maybe people can. Who cares? Maybe if they hear me, they'll pledge too. Here we go, guys.